Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out on a gorgeous night. The first ensemble we have up here is our percussion ensemble. It's made of the 7th and 8th graders. We're playing a popular tune made, I don't know, probably top 10 for sure, by Coldplay, Viva La Vida. at least every other concert, I have percussionists walk up to me and go, hold on a second, I gotta go get something from the band room. So that leads me to stall and tell jokes, and that's not a good thing. I'm just kidding. Our ensemble you have up in front of you now is the 7th grade group. What's really fun about this year is that for the first time they've got to rehearse together as a group every time they have rehearsal. So in 5th grade, of course, they're all at their own elementary school. And then when they come into 6th grade, because they're still a really very large group, we have the brass and percussion meet on one day, and then the woodwinds meet on the other. So that when they go to FIA the next day, the FIA teachers have some manageable numbers. And so this year, we're able to put them all together. They've had quite a busy year. They had mass band in the fall concert and tonight's concert as well, but then we also added for them the middle school pep band night. So we played for the boys basketball game here back in February. It was a good time. All right, looks like we're all ready now. So I hope you enjoy our first piece entitled Declaration in Blue. Our next piece, entitled Age of Voices, is kind of my challenge to the 7th graders. This is definitely at least an 8th grade level piece. And so when I handed it out, I kind of asked them, are you ready to take on kind of a hard one? And they're like, yeah. It's a really unique piece. It's not something you traditionally hear, so makes it even more difficult than just learning hard, challenging rhythms and hard, challenging notes. I hope you enjoy Ancient Voices.
All right, before we close out our 7th grade portion of the song, just talk a little about Cowboy Rhapsody.
If you look on the 7th grade page, the little pictures have to do with this one. There's going to be some American folk songs and some classical overture that you'll recognize if you are a Lone Ranger fan. And if you're a country western fan, one of the very earliest folk songs, Give Me a Home, right, where the buffalo roam. And then probably one you may not be as familiar with is the Buffalo Gals, which you'll hear that in the middle. It's this funky little one. After the 7th grade is done, we'll bring up the 8th grade ensemble. So 7th graders will sit down, and then we're going to have the woodwind choir perform in between. So we'll kind of move some chairs around. We'll need a little chance to switch stuff around. I hope you enjoy Cowboy Rhapsody. So someone pretty special celebrated their 90th birthday this school year, and that person is Dick Van Dyke. It's hard to believe he's already 90 years old, isn't it? And so I thought when we were looking at what pieces to maybe have our ensemble split this year, I thought that would be kind of a neat way we could work something in. And so this is one of my very early arrangements. It's not too snazzy or flashy, but it's a nice little, it's a cute number, as they say. And so I thought it kind of an appropriate piece to pick this year with our comedic icon, Dick Van Dyke, turning 90. So I hope you enjoy Chip Chimmering. Right, as the APMs are getting settled in, I'd like just to take a few moments to talk about something that's kind of been getting going this year. It's really exciting. We have a couple different new initiatives led by a community member here, or a former community member. One of the very first, or the first band director, Kenneth Pickney, who wrote our school song, worked as a teacher for many years. And in his time, he felt it very important that if there was a child who wanted to play, that he find a way that they get to play. And so if they needed an instrument, he figured out a way to do it. And now, Patricia, along with her siblings, have started a couple different things. You remember maybe Mr. Nelson talking about Play It Forward, which is the grants that look to purchase instruments for those students that can't afford to get their own. Coincidentally, we also started Play It Again, which is collecting gently used instruments. So now that the spring cleaning bug has bit, if you know of neighbors or friends or yourself that has an instrument in the closet collecting dust, feel free to contact either myself or Mrs. Gold, our elementary director, and bring something in, and we'd be happy to give you some tax credit for that. And then In an effort to kind of, as we are gathering these instruments, there's a clarinet I had on the table that just came to us within the last 2 weeks. Just to kind of give you an example of the things that we're collecting. Some of them come in and they need a little bit of repair, a little bit of tender love and care. And so we're looking to start just a little kind of fund to take care of those repairs as the instruments come in. So in the back, there's a couple old drums, looking for a couple dollars or some money. So it's a great cause. It's going to help repair those instruments and put those in hands of students that wouldn't otherwise be able to play an instrument. So it's a great cause. I encourage you on your way out, and if you are like me and I don't have cash on me all the time, feel free to stop by any of the schools and make a donation. Or the little cards that were handed out on your way in gives you some information, and then also the last few pages of the program has some information too if you'd like to send anything in. All right? So on your way out, if you think of it, or if the mood strikes you, anything would be greatly appreciated. All right, our first number that the 8th graders performed is what they performed at Mass Band. And you maybe noticed that with the 7th grade too. The reason I like to reprogram that song is it comes up so quick that we kind of miss some of the details. And now that we've reprogrammed it again, we can go after those small little details and go even more in depth and perfection. So I hope you enjoy At the Crossroads. This one's not on the program. This is my little teaching tool. The next piece that we play after this one is called Lullaby for Band. And to play slow is actually extremely challenging. You get many interpretations of how fast something is. How long is a 3-beat note? How long is a 4-beat note? And so the other two pieces that we work on are very fast, or three other pieces we work on are pretty fast. And so whenever we go to Lullaby for Band, it was always like pulling teeth to get them to slow down. So before we did that, I would have them play a hymn called Abide With Me. And it just gets them to calm down and focus on listening to what else is going on around them. And so they wanted to play it for you tonight. They really enjoy it, so I hope you enjoy it. Abide With Me. smiling slow. All right, our next piece is a very famous one, Fantasia, with many different works in it. Made famous a lot of times when you bring up Fantasia, they go, "Is that the one with Mickey Mouse in it?" And yes, that's the one. We're going to play. This arrangement has 4 of the selections from Fantasia. If you look in the 8th grade part of the program, that's where I picked. I think maybe you got 3 or if not all 4 of the themes from Fantasia. A little picture from there, that part of the movie. So I hope you enjoy Fantasia. Before we play our last piece, I'd like to recognize two students that have accomplished quite a task, quite a feat. My, sixth or seventh year here, I had a student. We have our lesson books, and we have a book 1, which we intend for our 5th grade and 6th grade players to use. And then we have a book 2, which we intend our 7th grade and most of our 8th grade to use. And then in the latter part of 8th grade year, we want them to move into the high school book as they go up to the high school. And at the high school, we have book 1 and book 2. And about, I think it's like 7 or 8 years ago now, I had a student who actually completed the first high school book still here as a middle school student. And so I thought that was really, really cool, and I put up a plaque. And since then, kids come in 6th grade and go, I want my name on that plaque. What do I have to do? And it's been a real motivator for a lot of students. I'm always amazed with the amount of work that they're willing to put in. And this year we had 2 students that completed it. They completed the first high school book, our 9th and 10th grade book, yet here at the middle school. And so could I have Camilla Johnson and Elizabeth Wilson please stand for a round of applause. All right, our last piece is entitled Centuries, and it's a pretty current popular tune by Fall Out Boy. And the reason this piece is on here is every year, since my third year here, I've had students ask, hey, can we do, and they always pick a Disney tune. I was like, can we do Lion King? Can we do Little Mermaid? And I just can't stand working on that stuff. So I said, no. And then I kind of get worn down, and so eventually I said, you know what, your 8th grade year, I'll let you pick one piece. So it's been the tradition every year that the 8th graders get to pick one piece on the concert that they want to play. And so this year, the 8th graders, this is actually the piece we're going to work on and perform at Valley Fair. We march and play there. And so this is the song they're going to play for there as well. And then you saw it at the homecoming halftime show. The high school ensemble played it there, and they really liked it. And so I kind of put a bug in them, and they picked it. And then who are 8th grade parents, you'll be getting some information also about the Dan Festival. They're going to play this tune there too. So I hope you enjoy Centuries. Thanks again for coming out. I really appreciate it, and all the love and support you give your kids in music. It's a real joy. So thank you again.